So excited to share with you guys. Yes, I literally have my big girl panties on. Well, actually, I don't have any panties on right now. That's that part. That section of the day is over. However, I had them on and did a lot of things today that made myself proud, that will help my future self, that make me it's like, ooh, you are doing what we need you to do. I took care of me today. And one of the biggest things that included was reaching out to someone who might become my sponsor from Overeaters Anonymous. So, um, where do I start? So, recently, I got a promotion. I was promoted from thick to big. Now this adjustment isn't it might be the barrier between thick and big might literally just be 10 pounds, but it is you are in a new weight class, right? It's like when you reach a new age bracket, like the outside circumstances do change, shit does get real, right? So outside of vanity reasons, because I'm beautiful, I can objectively say that. I feel it from the inside out. So even as I've been gaining weight, it's been like, eh. But I have had health issues. I can feel the wear and tear and the extra strain on my body with the extra weight, especially because of the things I do, namely performing, doing comedy. I haven't liked myself in pictures or in film. Dancing, it just takes a lot more. But what really made me be like, yo, I'm about to find an Overeaters Anonymous meeting is a couple of weeks ago I was on social media and it was they were talking about a substance addiction. I don't know if it was alcohol or drugs, excuse me, what particular thing, but the person was like, just how it had taken over their life. It was all they thought about. It dictated their schedule. Like they were, they're like, know your triggers, know when you're running to it because, you're trying to cover an emotion. And as they were, as I was like reading this, I think it was like a text post. I was like, yo, that's how I am with food. And so recently, and for those of you who follow me on Instagram or in my email list, our community is called Bonk Block because we the realest niggas on the block. Um, you guys know that I'm growing in a season, as many of you guys are. I'm facing new challenges. There are some changes, all of which for the most part is very exciting. So in this season, I've been asking God, like, yo, what do I need to do? So I've always had an interesting relationship with food. I've always kind of been weight conscious since a teenager. And the only health issue that really runs in my family is diabetes type 2. So we know that that is like all diet. That's completely preventable. So I was blessed to like take nutrition in college and just, just get exposed to different Black nutritionists. So I pretty much ate healthy and working out was a part of my lifestyle. Now, there have always been seasons where I've just gone completely off the rail and gained a lot of weight. And then my vanity would kind of like snatch me back and then I would lose it. And so when I moved to Houston, I ended up losing a lot of weight, some of which from just taking good, healthy action, right? Just identifying mindless eating and being more physical, but some of it was also struggle, right? Like I had a struggle summer once and lost mad weight. I was having migraines and health issues, so I couldn't keep food down, lost mad weight, just different things. And then dancing more, so it kind of just worked out. But in recent years, I just started overeating. So at first it was cute because I was like, wait, so when a small person eats a lot or overeats, it's kind of cute, right? Like it's like funny. It's like, oh, look at her, she grubbing. But again, when you make that jump, my nigga, from thick to big, it's no longer cute. People like when you eat in public, everybody's low key thinking like, bitch, you should stop, right? And I had a death in the family. My brother was murdered in September of 22. And I was already kind of on a downswing from health and fitness and just being But the things that I had done, the muscle memory I had allowed me to continue to overeat, and it didn't really like pile on like that. But when my brother passed, and I was, God is so good, the Holy Spirit really kept me. I didn't really fall into any like traditionally bad behaviors. Like I didn't go to substances or sex or anything like that. But what I was doing, what was giving me the biggest comfort was eating and going to sleep. And there's different things in my circumstances happening. Like I didn't really have to be anywhere at any particular time. So I could just like eat and sleep all day. Um, yeah. And then I think I have gone from the intense grieving that happens in the first year to more of like, acceptance and yeah, of course I still miss my brother, but it's not like that devastation that was in the first year. But now the habit of eating and going to sleep, it just stuck. Hey, I got a viewer. Check me out. Talking about my first time going to Overeaters Anonymous. So anyway, so I saw that social media post about addiction, and I realized like, I feel like I'm addicted to food. So I look it up and I find an in-person meeting. Oh, now it's just me again. One of the other things I've done today to make myself proud is the fact that I am on YouTube Live. Like I started my broadcast channel. Like I know what God has on my plate, and I know that these are the steps, including going to Overeaters Anonymous, which are going to make it possible. So I went to the meeting for the first time. It was at a church. The church was beautiful. It was mostly white, so I was like, eh. And then the eating disorders like range, right? So some people were compulsive eaters, some were bulimics, anorexics, all types of like food issues, right? So as I'm sitting there, I'm like, and they're talking about like rock bottom and things like that. And by the grace of God, I haven't necessarily hit rock bottom. So I was like, I don't know if I really, I was kind of on the fence about it. But they give you this literature, and I am going to read the signs that you, of being a compulsive eater, okay? There are 15 of them, and I'm going to read them, and I will talk about the ones that, I'll just say, of the 15, okay, I had 9. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I am in the right place. If you would like to be interactive, please feel free to drop your name and tell me where you're watching from. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about my first visit to Overeaters Anonymous, and right now I am reading. There are 15 signs that you're an overeater, and I have 9 of them. Okay. Number 1, I'll just read them. Do I eat when I'm not hungry or not eat when my body needs nourishment? Do I go on eating binges for no apparent reason, sometimes eating until I'm stuffed or even feel sick? Do I have feelings of guilt, shame, or embarrassment about my weight or the way I eat? Do I eat sensibly in front of others and then make up for it when I am alone? Is my eating affecting my health or the way I live my life? When my emotions are intense, whether positive or negative, do I find myself reaching for food? Do my eating behaviors make me or others unhappy? Have I ever used laxative, vomiting, diuretics, excessive exercise, diet pills, shots, or other medical interventions, including surgery, to try to control my weight? Do I fast or severely restrict my food intake to control my weight? Do I fantasize about how much better life would be if I were a different size or weight? Do I need to chew or have something in my mouth all the time, food, gum, mints, candies, or beverages? Have I ever eaten food that is burned, frozen, or spoiled from containers in the grocery store or out of the garbage? Are there certain foods I can't stop eating after having the first bite? Have I lost weight with a diet or period of control only to be followed by bouts of uncontrolled eating and or weight gain? Do I spend too much time thinking about food, arguing with myself about whether or what to eat, planning the next diet or exercise, or counting calories? Have you answered yes to several of these questions? If so, it is possible that you have or are well on your way to having a compulsive eating or overeating problem. So this is from the Overeaters Anonymous literature. So I'm like, okay. Now, like I said, the meaning itself I was kind of on the fence about, but the literature had me like, And then after the meeting, because it was hybrid, I was in person, but there was also a Zoom component. So people, including the in-person people, we all kind of like put in our contact information if you were up to being contacted. So a couple of people reached out to me, and that was the part that really touched me. Like, one of the things I've always loved about recovery programs or people who are in recovery, because I've always been kind of interested in it, whether it's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Sex Addict Anonymous, any of the Anonymous, right? The 12 steps are pretty much the same. And what I like about it is those people tend to be the most honest. I'll give you an example. So for my day job, we partner with Open Door Mission. And Open Door Mission helps homeless men who are drug addicts and have mental issues, right? So the people who are in leadership, most of the people who are in leadership also graduated from the program. So anyway, so like I said, we work with them through my day job. One of the leaders I've had, great conversations with a few times, and so I had changed my hair. You know how white folks are when you change your hair, they don't know who the fuck you are. So there was that. And so I had saw him and I was like, hey, like, how you greet somebody when you're very happy to see them, because I was happy to see him. And he was like, hi, I'm sorry, I'm trying to place you. How do I know you? And it really just made me chuckle, because that's how people who are in recovery are. Like, they practice rigorous honesty. They don't even do the little lies, the little shit you do to make somebody comfortable. Because if somebody greets me like, hey, most likely I'm going to play along and try to piece it together. Like, I'm not going to just be so honest up front. So I say that to say, one of the things I appreciate about the program so far is the rigorous honesty that's practiced. And I really appreciated the people who reached out to me to be like, yo, I'm sorry. Because I introduced myself and I just kind of pinpointed the same thing I just told you about my history with food. And then once my brother was killed, how I just could not stop eating. Cannot. It's a present thing. Like, my favorite thing to do is to come home and eat and go to sleep. And I haven't hit rock bottom and that I'm still fully functional and all the different things that I do. But I do know in this season, as I've been seeking God and asking him, like, yo, so one, give me the energy, the power, the willpower to do the things that he tells me to do, right? And then two, to like tell me what to do. And it was like, yo, go to Overeaters Anonymous. Like, to have people reach out to me who I don't know, be like, yo, I'm sorry to hear about your brother. Like, I'm here if you want to talk. And the talk is going to be about my eating, like, and it's not the vanity piece. It's not the surface piece, right? It's not people saying, oh, girl, you look good. Or them being like, oh yeah, try this diet or do all those things are, supportive, but no, like, really getting to the root of what is going on in your life, what is making you feel this way. So today I had a very exciting day, and that also made me want to overeat. Actually made me overeat, but not as much as I have been, right? And then I was like, yo, one of those people who reached out to me, I'm about to hit them back. And it was dope. Yeah, that's it. I am taking new action for the new levels that I'm entering. So I'm very pleased that I cleaned up my entire apartment today, which, your space just is so important. I'm very pleased that I'm on YouTube Live right now, and I have absolutely no qualms that there's nobody on here. I actually kind of prefer it that way, although it'll be fun once you guys get in the habit of seeing me on here. And I'm very pleased that I reached out to somebody from Overeaters Anonymous and I reread the literature, and I'm yanking shit up by the roots. And I hope you are too. I hope this was helpful. I am Bonke the author. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, wherever the fuck I'm supposed to say. But I'm just being obedient. Y'all can do the rest. Love you. Peace. So if I just press the X button, yes.